Take a seat, everyone. Class has started. Oh, it's just you?
Yeah, apparently today is senior skip day.
Are you not a senior?
Oh, I don't even go to this school. You okay if I record this session?
It's fine, I suppose. Not like anyone's gonna want to watch this. Anyway, let's get started. Today's lesson will be on how to become the worst at what you do. I, for one, tried to suck at making YouTube videos, and I do believe I failed at that, if I do say so myself. And I do say so myself. Not a word. So to learn from the best, we must turn to the Rojo Rollers of Yella's Marble Runs. This team has been next level Garboni for a decade. Even channels that aren't me have videos talking about how absolutely ass this team is. So how does one exactly learn from the Rollers to bring shame upon their families and cringe to hapless viewers? Let us examine the 6 easy steps to turn a hopeful team into the basement dweller we know today. Step 1. Your main goal is your main enemy. The Rojo Rollers want nothing more than to win the Marble League. The natural thing to do is to fail in every event at the Marble League. We've seen many teams do exactly that, but to truly be the worst, you need to take it up a notch. Fail to qualify for the Marble League 4 years straight. For those keeping track, that's the longest Marble League drought before the Cobalts inevitably break it this upcoming season.
Cobalts suck. Okay, but what about the other tournaments, like Marbula One or the Showdown?
Excellent question. That brings us to the next step. Step 2. Finish in the bottom half of standings for everything. Doesn't matter what tournament. If it's the Marble League, perform badly. Qualifiers, Showdown, Marbula One, doesn't matter. Straight to the basement. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. Doesn't even matter if it's a heat event like the 5-meter sprint or collision. Anything you touch must die, like what Timmy's mom did in that one episode of Fairly Odd Parents. Now, sometimes competing trash-tastically is a team effort. For instance, Marbula One Season 1. Rojo Uno and Rojo Dos took turns letting their team down and embarrassing all 11 of their fans. After finishing the first half of the season in 15th, Uno decided to go off script and finished in 5th, which was the best they did at anything in a long time. However, they decided to turn that point total into placement for their next race, finishing in 10th to let the Rollers land at 13th out of 16 teams. Even with the, shall we say, half-hearted attempt at being good, those individual standings don't lie. Dos landed at 21st out of 40 racers, while Uno finished nearby at 23rd, a fat substandard performance. This is where the Rollers shine. They are the best worst team. They will always be competitive except when it truly matters. Kinda like the New York Jets.
You see, but the Jets aren't fun to watch. Why would anyone pay attention to a team that fails at every turn?
Another great point. That takes us to step 3. When you fail, make it fun. Let's turn to the 2016 water race. The Rojo Rollers entered the 6th event in 2nd, just behind the Thunderbolts. Only in 2016 does this make sense. Rojo Quattro represented the Rollers in the first heat and tried their hardest to choke away their position. Unfortunately for them, the other racers in this heat were just as bad, if not worse, and 3rd place just wasn't doing it. Quattro needed to make a splash and had the perfect opportunity, falling off a fucking waterfall. An expert bounce into a gutter warrants a DNF, but Quattro went the extra mile. In their pursuit of failure, they impeded Snowy and Mocha, giving Quattro the illustrious disqualification. Since 2016 scoring was just as bad as the 2016 Rojo Rollers, this gave them -3 points, kickstarting their downward slide to a 6th place finish. Step 4. Don't think, do. Don't take your time ruminating over every decision you need to make, especially if it's important. We can't talk about the Rojo Rollers without talking about their franchise highlight: firing their coach after their heat loss in the 2021 Sand Rally. To be fair, it was a long time coming, but to do it in the middle of the event? You could have at least given Cerro some dignity and waited till the race ended. Then you can have him go back to the front office to see that all the contents of his desk have been cleared and stuffed into a box. But this just puts everything into the mindset of not using your mind. I'm not sure Rojo Oro even knew they were in the position to get the gig. It worked out in this situation because the Rojo Rollers finished the last 2 events with back-to-back 4th place finishes. Another great example is their relationship with Red Number 3. The Rollers and Red Number 3 knew each other well. They all came from the same city and even trained together. There were even rumors that the Rollers might put Red Number 3 on their roster. Then the Not a Marble controversy broke and the Rojo Rollers cut ties with Red Number 3. Now this is just my personal opinion, but Red Number 3 has always been a marble. He had approximate size and approximate weight. That's a marble. But the Rojo Rollers are a team of action. Never mind the fact that he still had a great 2020 despite the controversy and coming off of surgery, or the fact that name recognition and overall talent would make the Rojo Rollers a watchable team. Don't think, do. Cut ties and then spend the next 3 years repairing the relationship. The Rojo Rollers go full Leroy Jenkins into situations and hope it doesn't blow up in their faces.
I suppose if you're in the basement, you already know where the ground is. If the worst you can do is stay in the same spot, might as well try something desperate.
Au contraire, my young pupil.
I'm like 1,000 years older than you, but go on.
Step 5. Do worse than before. Think next year you'll shake off your failure? Wrong. Wrong. Revel in your ineptitude. Let it wash over you like a flood of toxic waste raw sewage in Flint, Michigan tap water. If you get just 4 points in a qualification event, fail to get any for the remainder of the tournament, actually in a position to qualify, finish just poorly enough to be relegated. Remember those back-to-back 4th place finishes in 2021 during football and Marbula Cross? Those allowed the Rojo Rollers to jump from 16th place all the way up to 16th place. Finally, step 6. Rinse and repeat. Event after event, tournament after tournament, year after agonizing year. The tried and true recipe for mind-numbing failure. We've seen this recipe played out by the Jawbreakers and Hornets. If this trend continues, I honestly believe the Rollers will be the next team to get cut from the league. If it were up to me, I would have made that decision long ago. I forget they even exist sometimes. They may be the first team someone roots for, but they're never the second. While other teams have reached the upper echelons of the league, even other teams that performed horribly before or after, the Rollers have reached the lowest ranks, in the basement of the league.
I like the whole teaching thing, by the way. You know, since the Rojo Rollers were teachers before they were athletes.
They were? Yes, they were. That does it for today's lesson. But now for tonight's homework. Roast the other marble teams, reach 5,000 subscribers, and write the Clutter Redemption video.
Wait, but isn't that your job?
Oh, would you look at that, I'm late for a meeting. Class dismissed, goodbye.
Hey, if you enjoyed that video, make sure you hit the like button and let us know. Subscribe so you don't miss out on the next upload, and click on some of the other videos this channel has made. Go on and relive the biggest winners and losers of the 2021 Marble League season, and Find out why warm weather NFL teams are goated with the sauce. Am I using that term correctly?
You really aren't.
Damn it.